This is a general posting here. It's 1:10 in the morning West Coast time. It is Thursday the 9th, actually Thursday the 10th, January 25th. The Weaver Agency of Rosemond, California. All right, guys. Yeah, second round two here. Just been talking to somebody I needed to talk to a while ago. Shout out to a few people, many people out in Southern California. I'm with you guys. I mean, up here in Antelope Valley, but I'm still waiting for our catastrophe to happen, unfortunately. And what's happening in my beloved valley, and what's happening in my beloved county in Southland here, it's still tearing my ass apart. It's pissing me off what's been happening. I try to stay away from the damn politics, what's been happening, but I swear, the politics is trying to get more and more attention and trying to be more and more distracting than anything else these days. So, yeah, it kind of pisses me off what's going on. Uh, so let me see. Artist in recovery slash Daryl P. What is your major malfunction for today? Let's put you on there. So you say, my will to live? Mortality. Okay, before I go even further in the damn thing, he's going to be going into a rant concerning about mortality. What things you're going to be looking for at this point over here? Yeah, I hear about that one there. All right, to a gentleman I know back in New York who's been dealing with reality and life and everything else, Mr. Ho. How you doing, sir? It's been a while. I'm hoping that you're just feeling a little better, but you're still dealing with everything else, aren't you? Some days are and other days, talk to me about that one there, pal. California out here is still going insane. Southern California. Politics, people are back talking against California governor and everything else. Still trying to find blame for beating their egos. Previous video I did was talking about my ranting and ravings, which I'm going to get published when I get them all loaded up, including this one here. As for the Mr. Artist in Recovery out in Connecticut, I could say get a life, but you already got a life. So you're trying to do a worldview or just a viewpoint about we got finite days and we're supposed to be doing a day at a time. Well, in a way, yeah, we're supposed to be. We can't worry about tomorrow, but the problem is we still have to deal with tomorrow. Now, as for legacies, concerning about the Greenland situation, since you already had that tagged up already, pal. Oh, I know. You can't even deal with it. You can't even fathom it. You can't even comprehend that when the 20th comes, all hell breaks loose. Well, we've been having all hell breaking loose beforehand. And we're going to have it more after that. Whether or not the country, the United States, is going to be still surviving is going to be a question for everybody. And as usual, and it doesn't work anymore, I can still blame the voters. But the thing is, I keep blaming them. Where's my fingers at, guys? Pointing right back at me. Right back at me. Accountability, transparency, and responsibility. I say that a lot. I also say history, history, history. But we will never follow that thing because we want everybody else to do it our way. Disaster comes, we want it solved now. We don't want any excuses. Except we're going to find a scapegoat to go crazy on. My last video was doing the same damn shit. It's doing the same damn shit. Finding out who the scapegoat is so we can talk about it, grouse about it, grovel about it, blame others. The video is going worldwide on social media platforms about this one woman approaching Governor Gavin Newsom and demanding answers and demanding actions right there, right there. Has to be done, has to be done, has to be done. How dare you not do it in my way, in my terminology? It has to be done now. Don't you understand? Because fear and anger has a way of clouding a person to the point where they're not thinking. They're not going to think. They're focused and they're going to get their way. They're going to be moving to hell in a handbasket until somebody's going to be moving them away, and then they get pissed off about it even further. How dare you interview me? You're interfering with my actions. I what? It's like you just want to say to the lady, I know. No, you don't. I want to go crazy. Lady, look behind you. Look behind you. You'll see a long line of people doing the same thing. Y'all want a body, but it's not going to help solve the situation. Every time I kept seeing that damn video, I wanted to go after that damn reporter and then go after the woman. Give her a hug at this point over here and say, you're not alone and you're not the only one with the anger issues, lady. Because we got other people out there having the same damn situation. They're afraid, they're terrified, they already lost a hell of a lot of things. They lost a roof over their head, they lost a bed, they lost cooking, they lost pictures. If they could salvage them, fine, but if they couldn't, then that was it. I hadn't been, as I said before in my videos, I hadn't been in any fire situation where I had to evacuate, but the came damn close. July 4th last year, I had kids playing with fireworks, and damn near had my apartment complex gone up in smoke. There hadn't been a local fire department. And the thing is, the neighbors didn't know how to use fire extinguishers. And we still had kids playing in a yard with fireworks. Oblivious, and they didn't give a shit. In this situation, if we had lost a home, people will be falling on each other like ravenous wolves. And it still wouldn't solve the situation. I don't know what it is with humanity at this point. Something bad happens and we have to blame everybody else and we have to be going after each other. We can't accept the damn thing that we may have been part of the problem, but we also could have been part of a solution to help. We don't think about that one, do we? Even when we get our asses kicked by a natural disaster, we can't even think that we could be part of a solution, not part of a problem. But it's this fight or flight situation. This is the survival attitude that we have. We have got to be number one. We have to be surviving. It's built into our, well, it's beyond the biological DNA. It's into our souls, I guess, into our mindscape, somewhere in there, in that level. A different DNA strand we haven't discovered yet. I don't know. But built into that kind of code in our soul, we're in a strict survival situation. And we'll do anything necessary to survive. And we're not even thinking logically at this point. We're thinking instinct. An instinct. So I can blame, and I can look at it, and I can be angry about the situation. But is it going to get me out of the situation? Is there going to be a solution that I'm going to deal with, like, or need to deal with, and not like? She wanted answers. She wanted immediate results. She couldn't get it. But she did get help, and she did get the results. But she didn't like it. Now, in dealing with a finite time, yeah, we have finite time. We got a finite, Daryl. We get older, we get more retrospect because we used a hell of a lot of time, and now we're thinking we're going to be panicking for each damn day instead of just thinking we got another day to live. We got another day to live. We got another day to sleep. We got another day to deal with a dog. We got another day to look at the sunrise and the sunset. We get to deal with the situation on that day. We don't get to worry. We get to deal. We get to cope. We don't get to have a conniption fit. I mean, we could have a conniption fit. We could stress about things. There's a lot of things we could stress about. I sound like a damn guru, don't I? I think I know better than anybody else. I'm an elitist. I think I know better. Not really. We each been through our own battles, our own war zones, our own things to survive through. Some are constant right now. And sometimes it's a pain in the ass trying to deal with it day by day. But the only thing I can say is we're human. We were created that way. We came out of our parents, well, actually the mother anyway. We were created to be human. We were created to experience life on life's terms, whatever the hell it was. If it means wildfires burning up a school or a whole complete neighborhood, then that's it. Or an earthquake that tears apart a lot. We even have to deal with things that we don't like to walk through. That we have to keep our own mortality continuing. It's not that easy, is it? It's not that easy. Living day by day expecting another shoe to drop. That's just us being grateful and thankful for what I've got right now as it is. Or let alone somebody else trying to do the same situation. Yeah, but what happens if? Yeah, I know. What if? I'm going to be dealing with the what ifs. I'm already seeing scenarios right now. Guys, I've already been seeing my own worst nightmare come to truth, come to reality at this point. As I said before in my previous video, guys, I have lived through fires. And I was always afraid my neighborhood getting torched. I live in an enclosed valley for most of my life. And I had seen fires all around, different years, different times. Never got easier. It's one thing having a house fire or a building fire. But it was another thing to see portions of your landscape tearing apart, burned alive, torched, gone, history. Either it makes you very fearful of life and scared of what fate has in store, or else you get sanguine about it and deal with it. Or the other portion of it is just drive everybody else crazy with it. For your fight to survival, and you're going to be clawing everybody else out. I have to think of a survival at this point for that, but I can't keep thinking that I have to tear everyone else apart just to live. But unfortunately, it's going to have to be that way on some occasions. Fight for that last bread, if it's the last bread on earth. But a whole community disappeared, or actually, whole communities were disappearing. That's a hell of a change for anybody to go through. So, I'm having a hard time with that one. I'm having a hard time with that one. Yeah, I talk to people about it, other than you guys. a therapist of mine. She came back to work. The strike still goes on, but she came back to work. This was her job. This was her calling. This is what she wanted to do. And we had a talk. The same day she came back, we talked. Beyond that, I was talking to a priest. Actually, a reverend. Just to get things off my chest. And I started to realize more and more about what's happening in life. I'm grateful for the things. I still need to get past the fear of the medical establishment. I know one of us have been dealing with it all their lives, or most of their lives anyway, as much as I know about them. You don't have a fear, you keep fighting it down. I wish I had that. I wish I had that level of courage. I had open heart surgery at the age of 4 years old. I know what death is like. It scared the shit out of me. It changed me a great deal. Should have been made me more appreciative about life. It made me fearful of death and life at the same time. And then the medical establishment, I started to fear and hate them at the same time. In order to treat me or in order to test me out, they had to put me through a hell of a lot of pain. And I started to resent that like crazy. I started having nightmares. I started developing PTSD, but you know what? They laughed it off a long time ago. Now, since I'm an adult and having the symptoms worsened these days, I still got to get through it. If I want to maintain another day of life, I have to do what I got to do to take care of it. A hell of a lot better than I've been doing for the rest of my life, my previous life anyway. All those years I spent. There have been times I went to the doctor to get myself checked out, both with my family urging me on forcefully. Not for myself right now, I had to stay the hell away from him. But, when it came down from a mental breakdown, then I knew I needed help. Because it was going to be affecting my physical health a great deal. So I needed to do the things I need to do. I wish I could have done them a hell of a lot earlier, but you know, it's not to take it a day at a time and see what the hell happens. So, I guess you guys are still my inspiration in one way or another. Alright, for that one, since it's West Coast time and my body and my brain are telling me back to bed, I'm still going to be waiting for a She'll Must Be Obeyed to wake up and drive me nuts for the next couple hours after that. So I won't be able to get to sleep until one of these here millenniums. Gentlemen, I bid you adieu. Glad you're feeling a little bit better, Jim. And Daryl, we'll talk one of these here days, pal.